Welcome. You have now entered the Haunted Library. This is where we tell scary stories inspired by you, our viewers. We know that everyone loves a good scare, and that's why we're here to bring you spine-tingling tales of horror and suspense. Each week we will take our prompts and turn them into stories that will keep you up at night. From ghostly apparitions to monsters lurking in the shadows, we'll bring your ideas to life and take you on a journey into the unknown. We'll introduce you to characters that will both terrify and intrigue you, and transport you to worlds that are both familiar and otherworldly. Our stories are not for the faint of heart, but for those who crave the thrill of the unknown. So, if you have an idea for a scary story that you want to see come to life, share it with us. Let us bring your darkest imaginings to life and take you on a journey that will leave you breathless. Put your ideas in the comments below. Lila had been on many business trips before, but this time she decided to try something different. She booked an Airbnb in a remote area, far away from the busy city, where she could get some much-needed rest after her busy schedule. When she arrived, she found the place to be peaceful and quiet. The cabin was rustic and charming, with the beautiful view of the surrounding woods. But as the night grew dark, Lila began to feel uneasy. She couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her, lurking just beyond the darkness. Despite her growing unease, Lila eventually drifted off to sleep, but as she slept, she began to have strange dreams. In her dreams, she was surrounded by hooded figures, chanting in an unknown language. She tried to wake up, but found that she couldn't move. When she finally opened her eyes, she realized that it was no longer a dream. She was surrounded by hooded figures, just as she had seen in her nightmare. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The figures began to chant again, and Lila felt a sense of dread wash over her. She realized that she was in danger, that she was not safe in this remote location. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain in her arm, and everything went black. When Lila woke up, she was deep in the woods, surrounded by the hooded figures. She could see other victims around her, bound and gagged, their eyes filled with fear. The hooded figures began to chant again, and Lila realized that they were performing some kind of dark ritual. As the ritual continued, Lila felt a growing sense of horror. She knew that these hooded figures were trying to conjure something. She didn't want to believe it, but she thinks it was the devil himself. That she was now part of their twisted plan, and she struggled against her bonds, but it was no use. Finally, the devil arrived, summoned by the hooded figures. Lila watched in horror as he appeared in front of her, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. And then the devil began to consume the souls of the victims, one by one. Lila screamed as she felt her soul being ripped from her body. She watched as the other victims around her suffered the same fate. In the end, only Lila was left, a soulless shell of a human being. The hooded figures disappeared into the woods, leaving Lila behind. She knew that the feeling of being watched had been real, that someone had been watching her all along. She knew that she'd fallen victim to something beyond her understanding, something that had been lurking in the darkness all along. In the years that followed, Lila lived alone in the woods, haunted by the memory of the ritual and the devil himself. She was a shadow of her former self, consumed by the darkness that had taken her soul. She never spoke of what happened, and no one ever knew what had become of her. But those who stumbled upon the cabin in the woods could sense the presence of something evil, something that had claimed the life of a lost soul named Lila.